Welcome to Sing Classes. Today we will discuss some of the most important questions of UPSC. Stay tuned till the end on Basic Structure Doctrine. The Basic Structure Doctrine is a judicial principle which states that Parliament cannot alter the fundamental features of the Indian Constitution while exercising its amending power under Article 368. This doctrine was established by the Supreme Court in the Kesavananda Bharati case in 1973. The court held that although Parliament has wide powers to amend the Constitution, it cannot destroy its essential features. Some elements considered part of the basic structure include supremacy of the Constitution, rule of law, judicial review, secularism, federalism, separation of powers, and free and fair elections. This doctrine acts as a safeguard against misuse of constitutional amendment powers. It preserves the identity and stability of the Constitution while allowing necessary reforms. Thus, it balances parliamentary sovereignty with constitutional supremacy and protects democratic governance in India. 2. Judicial review. Judicial review refers to the power of the judiciary to examine the constitutionality of legislative and executive actions. In India, this power is derived from Articles 13, 32, and 226 of the Constitution. Judicial review ensures that laws and policies remain consistent with constitutional provisions. It protects fundamental rights by striking down unconstitutional laws. It also maintains checks and balances among the three organs of government. By reviewing executive actions, courts prevent arbitrary use of power. Judicial review strengthens democracy, upholds the rule of law, and ensures constitutional supremacy. At the same time, it must be exercised carefully to avoid judicial overreach. Overall, judicial review is a cornerstone of Indian democracy and essential for safeguarding constitutional values. 3. Fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit refers to the excess of the government's total expenditure over its total revenue, excluding borrowings. It indicates how much the government needs to borrow to meet its expenses. A moderate fiscal deficit can promote economic growth by increasing public investment in infrastructure and welfare programs. However, a high fiscal deficit may lead to inflation, rising public debt, and higher interest rates. It may also reduce private investment due to the crowding out effect. Persistent high deficit can affect macroeconomic stability and investor confidence. In India, the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act aims to maintain fiscal discipline. Therefore, managing fiscal deficit carefully is essential for sustainable economic development and long-term financial stability. 4. Federalism in India. Federalism is a system of government in which powers are divided between the central authority and state governments. The Indian Constitution establishes a federal structure with a strong unitary bias. Powers are distributed through the Union List, State List, and Concurrent List under the 7th Schedule. Both the Union and states derive authority from the Constitution. Features like an independent judiciary and bicameral legislature strengthen federalism. However, emergency provisions and financial dependence of states show a strong center. In recent years, cooperative federalism has gained importance through institutions like the GST Council and Niti Aayog. Indian federalism is dynamic and aims to maintain national unity while respecting regional diversity. 5. Sustainable development. Sustainable development means development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The concept was popularized by the Brundtland Commission in 1987. It is based on three pillars: economic growth, environmental protection, and social equity. Sustainable development is important to address challenges such as climate change, resource depletion, poverty, and inequality. It promotes renewable energy, responsible consumption, and conservation of biodiversity. In India, sustainable development is reflected in climate policies and promotion of green energy. The Sustainable Development Goals provide a global framework for action. Sustainable development ensures long-term prosperity while maintaining ecological balance and social justice. 6. Role of RBI. The Reserve Bank of India is the central bank responsible for regulating the monetary and financial system of the country. Established in 1935, RBI formulates and implements monetary policy to control inflation and maintain price stability. It regulates commercial banks and ensures financial stability. RBI issues currency notes and manages foreign exchange reserves. It acts as banker to the government and banker's bank. Through tools like repo rate, reverse repo rate, and open market operations, it controls liquidity in the economy. RBI also supervises payment systems and promotes financial inclusion. During economic crises, it plays a key role in stabilizing markets. Thus, RBI is crucial for maintaining macroeconomic stability and supporting economic growth. 7. Fundamental duties. Fundamental duties are moral obligations of citizens mentioned in Article 51A of the Indian Constitution. They were added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1976. Currently, there are 11 fundamental duties. These include respecting the Constitution, protecting the sovereignty and unity of India, promoting harmony, safeguarding public property, and protecting the environment. Although they are not legally enforceable, they guide citizens toward responsible behavior. Fundamental duties complement fundamental rights and promote discipline and national integration. Courts have also referred to them in cases related to environment and education. In a diverse country like India, these duties encourage civic responsibility and strengthen democracy. 8. Biodiversity hotspots. Biodiversity hotspots are regions with very high levels of species, diversity and endemism that are under serious threat from human activities. The concept was introduced by Norman Myers in 1988. To qualify as a hotspot, a region must have at least 1,500 endemic plant species and must have lost at least 70% of its original habitat. These regions are priorities for conservation because they contain unique species. India has 4 biodiversity hotspots: Himalaya, Western Ghats, Indo-Burma region, and Sundaland, including Nicobar Islands. Protecting these hotspots helps conserve endangered species and maintain ecological balance. Conservation measures include national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. 9. Globalization. Globalization refers to the increasing integration of economies, cultures, and societies through trade, investment, technology, and communication. In India, globalization accelerated after the economic reforms of 1991. It has increased foreign investment, boosted the IT and service sectors, and expanded access to global markets. Consumers benefit from a wider range of goods and services. However, globalization has also created challenges such as rising inequality and vulnerability to global economic crises. Small industries often face intense competition from multinational corporations. Despite these challenges, globalization has enhanced economic growth and technological advancement in India. Balanced policies are necessary to ensure inclusive and sustainable development. Separation of powers. Separation of powers is a principle in which government authority is divided among three organs: legislature, executive, and judiciary. The legislature makes laws, the executive implements them, and the judiciary interprets them. This division prevents concentration of power and ensures checks and balances. Although the Indian Constitution does not strictly separate powers, it provides functional separation and judicial independence. Parliament cannot interfere with judicial decisions, and the judiciary can review laws. This system ensures accountability, transparency, and protection of rights. Separation of powers prevents authoritarianism and strengthens democratic governance in India.